Hi, yeah, it's me. Today I've had some bad news. I apologise because this is going to be a slight ranty video, but recently I've been dealing with the new disability money system in the UK, disability money payments, which is the new system. It's called personal independence payments. The original system was called Disability Living Allowance. Now, I used to get Disability Living Allowance, and I have been on that all my life, basically, since I was a little kid, because my disabilities are quite severe, and basically I can't work because of my disabilities and my illnesses. So I need the disability money to survive, basically. And I've tried switching over to personal independence payments. And I had the assessment and everything like that, and it seemed to all go well, the assessment. And I've been waiting for months and months for the letter to say whether I'm entitled to the PIP or not, whether I've been accepted or not. And I've got the letter today, and basically it says that I'm not entitled to disability money, which is very shocking, because now this is going to affect all my other benefit monies, and then now I'm not going to be able to afford to pay for my flat. So I'm probably could end up homeless because I can't afford to pay for a home, because I can't work. So now I've got to go through a process of an appeal. Now, most probably the appeal will work and I will win the appeal, because that seems to have what happened to a few people I know that have gone for PIP, such as my sister, who is registered blind. She went for PIP and they turned her down and said she wasn't entitled. So she appealed, and then she won the appeal, and she got the high rate of PIP, the full rate, and she got a ton of back pay from it as well. And it's happened like that with a few friends of mine as well. So it's most likely I'll do the appeal and I'll win it. But they've given, this is the letter, they're going to be stopping my DLA as well on the 30th of August, and that will affect my other benefit, as I said. That will affect my ESA, because I get disability credits on my ESA, and my partner gets the carers credits on ESA, so we get a little bit extra because I'm disabled and can't work. But now that the disability people have turned me down, the ESA people are going to say, well, as you're not disabled, then on paper you're not disabled, so now we're going to take your disability credits away, and we're going to kick you off PIP, we're going to kick you off ESA, and we're going to put you on job seekers allowance. And job seekers allowance are relentless. If you can't find a job within a certain amount of weeks, they cut your money or they stop your money, which is called sanctioning. My brother used to have this issue a lot with them. Job centre, job seekers allowance is, I don't want to be on that, because it's no end of stress. They mess you around. They give you job interviews, but they give you the wrong address for them, so you turn up for the interview and get told, oh, you're in the wrong place, or they give you the wrong time for the interview or the wrong date, so you end up going there late or a day late or something. Then the job centre says, oh, well, that's not our problem. Well, it is their problem because they're the ones that have given you the wrong date. But I like here, it's this bit on the letter tells me what their decision makers have said and stuff. Basically, I'll read out, it's quite a big paragraph or two, but I'll basically read out a bit of it. It says here, the decision maker's reasoning. I made my decision using information about your health, condition or disability, including details of any treatment, medication, test results and symptoms. Okay, so they took everything that I gave them into all the info that I gave them, the doctors gave them, and obviously I've read that. Firstly, I suppose I better explain, I do have dyslexia. I have read this a couple of times so that I can get it in my head, and I've also had help from my partner a little on some of the bigger words. So I've practiced reading this for the purpose of the video so I can read it out to you. You know, I learn on patterns rather than, you know, it's hard to explain how my brain works, but I do struggle with reading, writing and everything. So I thought I'd better explain that, because it seems like I'm doing really well with reading at the moment. I am, because I've practiced in advance for the purpose of this video. But yeah, anyway, I'll carry on. This information is the best we have available and enough to decide how much help you need. As your needs vary, my decision is based on the help you need. Most days, you said you can manage taking nutrition and your toilet needs. So yeah, I can wipe my own bum and get my food in my mouth. Okay, yeah. And they go on to say, I agree you can manage these activities. They haven't actually witnessed me wiping my own bum or putting my food in my mouth, but they're like, yeah, we think you can do it. Based on me sitting there talking to them in an interview. And they go on to say here, you said you have difficulties preparing food. Yes, I do. And washing and bathing and dressing and undressing. Yes, I do. I agree you have difficulties. Oh, thank you very much. You are so kind. You said you have difficulties managing therapy or monitoring a health condition, as you sometimes forget to take medication. Yes, I do forget to take medication. I do forget things. This is why on my phone I have a calendar, and I have like calendar reminders, and I have alarm reminders for everything. I have it to remind me to feed my cats. I have it to remind me to take all my medications and what times a day to take them. I have it to remind me about appointments that I need to go to. I have a colour-coded system on there. Red for hospital appointments, blue for bills I need to pay, you know, green for going out with friends if I've made, like, arranged to go and meet friends. I put that in green so I can remember that. Any other appointments that are not hospital or medical appointments, I put in yellow. So it's all colour coded so I can understand it. If I didn't have my phone telling me what I need to do and when I need to do it, I wouldn't remember, I'd forget, and bills wouldn't get paid. I wouldn't make it to the hospital for my appointments. I'd forget my medication and then probably pass out and die on the floor because my blood pressure's skyrocketed and my heart's exploded or some crap like that, you know. So if I didn't have this phone reminding me what I need to do when I need to do it, and if I didn't have my partner there to help me with some of the stuff, I wouldn't be able to manage it. And I explained this to them in the assessment. So, you know, but yeah, moving on. They've put here, communicating verbally. Reading and understanding signs, symbols and words. Engaging with other people face to face and making budgeting decisions. Right now, okay, I seem to be communicating verbally, but I'm communicating verbally with a tablet screen. I can see myself in the screen, so basically I'm communicating verbally with myself at the moment. But when it comes to communicating face-to-face verbally with other people, I struggle greatly because I have social anxiety and I get very nervous around new people or people that I don't know very well. And, you know, it's really hard for me to talk to people like that. And basically in the assessment, I was able to talk to the assessment guy, about my condition, about my Marfan syndrome, because I have learnt how to do that. That is a learnt skill because I've done it all through my life with assessments for disability money. If I don't explain to them the impact my Marfan has on me or what Marfan is, they don't understand it. It tends to get ignored, which that is my main condition, and that is the condition that I need the most help with. So I need to convey that, and the only person that can convey how that affects me is me. Yes, my partner can convey how he needs to help me with it, things like that, you know, but even he is in deep water with that. Even he sometimes doesn't understand that. He doesn't understand how it medically affects me. He doesn't understand, you know, the medical jargon, whereas I do because I've had to deal with it my whole life. So basically, me talking to them in the assessment about my condition was, again, rehearsed, because I had to rehearse. Maybe I shouldn't have rehearsed, maybe that was the problem, but I rehearsed it before I went to the meeting, because otherwise I would have been sat there a gibbering wreck and they wouldn't have understood me and my condition wouldn't have been conveyed correctly, and then they would have ignored my physical condition and my Marfan syndrome and everything, and I wouldn't have got the PIP. And to be honest, my anxiety levels during that were skyrocketing, but I was trying to ignore it because I was more focused on answering the questions he was giving me about my condition. And at the moment, my anxiety, depression and stress levels are skyrocketing. And why does it have to be so difficult? You know, I know people that have nothing wrong with them apart from a drug addiction or an alcohol addiction. They go to get disability payments, get it straight away, don't have to appeal, don't have to go for an assessment, nothing. They just get told, oh yeah, there you go, high rate. How are they able to get high rate when someone like me or someone worse off than me are being told, oh sorry, no, you're not entitled, you're not disabled enough? Someone with a drug addiction or an alcohol addiction, yes, okay, it's seen as an illness, Okay, I agree with that, but it's not a disability. It's not a physical disability. It doesn't really affect your mobility. Well, being drunk, I suppose, would affect your mobility a little bit if you're stumbling around like a drunkard all the time. But do you know what I mean? Someone like me that has to use a cane to get around, I'm in incredible pain every day. Yes, it doesn't look like it because I don't like to sit there whinging and complaining about it all the time. I don't like to, make a fuss about it. I just get on with things, because if I don't, the world will crumble around me and then I'll have nothing. So, needs must and everything. But yeah, where was I? They've still got more here. Reading, understanding signs, symbols and words, yep, been there. Engaging with other people face to face. Making budgeting decisions. Budgeting decisions. Okay, I like to spend. I think everyone's like that occasionally. I do spend money on useless crap, but budgeting, again, my phone helps me with that. That tells me when I need to pay a bill. Also, with bills such as the Sky bill, they text me how much I owe and when they are going to take it out, just like a couple of days before they take it out, and they take it out on the same day every month. And that is direct debit. Most of my bills are direct debit. If not, they're payment cards, and my fiance deals with that. He goes down the shop and he pays for that, which I told them in the assessment. But right, and it says here, you demonstrated adequate concentration and memory at assessment when giving details of your functional and condition history. Again, that's because I rehearsed it beforehand. It's because it's a learnt skill, like riding a bike. Once you learn how to ride a bike, you don't forget. And because from an early age it was drilled and drummed into me, my condition and what my condition is and how my condition affects me, because I was constantly going to assessments and appointments, medical appointments and things, and also because my mum wanted me to learn about my condition, because just in case she weren't around, if something happened to me, say I was at school and I had an accident, had to be rushed to hospital, I'd be able to tell the doctors my medical history because I had learnt it. If I hadn't learnt it, then what would have happened to me in hospital? They wouldn't have known about my Marfan syndrome. They wouldn't have known about my heart condition. And anything they did to me could have been detrimental to my health, because they didn't know about it. So, and this is what annoys me. The assessment people and the PIP people don't take all this into account. It's kind of annoying. But I suppose I get to convey all this during the appeal, if it gets to appeal. Yeah, and obviously memory, again, like my phone. And also I had a book about Marfan syndrome signs and symptoms in the meeting, which I had been reading just prior to going into the meeting. And I had that there because I showed it to them, and that, so. But anyway, you spoke to the assessors normally, answering questions appropriately. I spoke to him normally, answering appropriately, yeah. He asked me, how far can you walk? I was like, here to here. He asked me a question, I answered it. yes, I could answer the question at that point in time because I had been rehearsing it again, and because I'd been going through the forms and answering these questions where they ask you the same flipping question numerous times, but they ask it in different words each time to try and catch you out. So it's basically, again, I had it drummed into me. So and it says here, you said you can read and use texts and that you can run an online Facebook group. Okay, use text, and yes, I use my phone, I write status, but I use spell checker, and as everyone knows now, phones and tablets have this thing where it corrects your spelling as you're typing, and now phones, they learn what you are typing, right? They learn how you speak, kind of thing, how you type. So while you're writing a sentence, say you write the cat, it then pops up at the bottom with sat on the mat, because it knows usually you use them words in that, you know, in that order in sentences, and that's how I get by. You know, as you can see here, Facebook status, let's say I was to write something, let's put I am feeling, there we go, it's come up there in the middle. I haven't finished typing feeling, but it's come up in the middle there in blue with the word feeling. So then I just click on that. So if I don't know how to spell a word, it comes up there anyway. You know, so that's how I get by with texts and Facebook status updates and things like that, you know. So, and I explained that to them in the meeting again, but I guess whatever I say doesn't really matter, does it? You know, it's whatever they think. But yeah, anyway. Where was I? Right, it says there, you engaged well with the assessor. Again, you know, I usually do with medical professionals, and he was a medical professional. You know, because again, from a young age, I've dealt with medical professionals all my life. So I'm used to talking to them. You know, if he was just a random stranger off the street, I wouldn't have been able to properly. It says here, there were no signs of anxiety. Yeah, right, I was stimming through that whole assessment. Ugh. He clearly didn't have his eyes open that day, you know. It says here, you have no specialist mental health input. What the hell does that mean? No specialist mental health input. I'm not sure what they mean by that. I think they mean you don't have like a support worker to help you with your mental health or something. No, I don't have that, because I've been told I'm not entitled, because I don't have high rate disability money. And high rate disability money are now saying you're not entitled to high rate disability money because you don't have a support worker. Catch 22. You know, I do need a support worker, but I keep being told, sorry, you're not entitled, you're not disabled enough. So basically, no offence to anyone, but if I sat there drooling, making stupid noises and rocking backwards and forwards during that meeting, I would have got the PIP money like that, you know, no problem. But because I can hold a sentence with someone, I'm being told, sorry, no. And it was mainly for my physical health that I was going there for, not my mental health. And it goes on to say, you confirmed you understand money. again, what does that mean? I understand money. Yeah, you get money if you want. If you want to buy something, you need money to do it. Yeah, I know that. Again, that's a learnt skill from when I was a kid. I don't know how I demonstrated I understand money in that meeting, because we weren't really talking about money. Yes, he asked about how I pay the bills. Again, the phone. You know, he and my partner, he deals with a lot of it. So again, obviously they weren't listening to me properly in that meeting. It says here, can buy, oh, commas confuse me, can buy items and order food online. Yeah, it's just clicking buttons. That's not really difficult, you know. Again, I get help with that from my partner and my phone. As everyone knows, the supermarket apps such as Asda and Iceland, they have a favourites thing or a shopping list thing. So it comes up with your favourites, things that you buy all the time. And then you can just click, yeah, buy all them. That's what I usually do. You know, rather than scrolling through the whole lot. I usually buy the same stuff every time I go shopping and just click buy favourites. There we go. It's not really, you know. Modern technology is a big help to me. It's an annoyance sometimes, but it is a massive help to me and my learning difficulties. And because of that, it looks like I've been told that I'm not entitled because I have a phone that does everything for me. Stupid. Says here, I have decided you can manage medication or therapy or monitor your health condition unaided. You've decided. How have you decided? Again, that's what helps me. Without this, I'd forget. I'd even forget to go to the doctors to collect my prescription. I've decided that you are a complete yeah. Count to 10. And it says here, express and understand verbal information. Again, you've said that up there a bit. You've said that further up the page. You're just saying the same stuff over and over again in a different way. You're just trying to confuse me now. I can do it unaided apparently. Yes, I can to a certain extent, but it's not verbal information, the verbal issues I went in for, really. They haven't said much about my physical disability here, which is the thing I went for. They're on about my mental disabilities and my learning difficulties. So they've completely ignored my physical disabilities, as I thought would happen. Read and your health. Read and understand basic and complex information, either unaided or using glasses or contact lenses. Again, I've practiced it. That's why I was able to read the books, read the forms and everything, because I had been reading it and filling it out with the help of an advocate, you know, for a couple of months. So it was fresh in my mind and it was kind of drilled into me. It says here, engage with other people unaided and make complex budgeting decisions unaided. They said that again further up the page. They're telling me the same stuff over and over again. They're just like saying the same thing over and over again, but in slightly different words. But it says here, next paragraph, says here, you said you have difficulty planning and following journeys. Yeah, if the bus don't go there, I don't go there, you know? Most places I go is from my house to the local town centre, occasionally where I do a bit of shopping. You know, I go to get the stuff that I can't get online. And the bus takes me straight there. I just get on the bus. My partner pays. You know, he deals with the driver and the money. I sit down in the disabled bay, grab my cane, and then wait for the bus to stop on my stop. And then we get off and do our shopping. You know, don't take much planning really. I don't really plan it. When I feel up to going to town, I go to town. It says here there is no evidence of any significant cognitive, intellectual or mental health impairment. Yes, there is. You just weren't looking hard enough. Which would prevent you managing this activity. Oh, right, I see. So they're saying that there's nothing mentally or intellectually wrong with me that would stop me from using the bus. Again, they've not been there when I've actually gone on journeys to town. And I bet they're going off the fact that I was able to make it there on time. I was like half an hour early. Well, to be honest, I was a couple of hours early, but instead of going straight into the place, I went and sat down in a local bar area and had a drink of Coke and that, and waited, because I didn't want to be sat in their waiting room for the next 2 hours. Then we got there. When we got there like half an hour early, and we sat in their waiting room for half an hour waiting, and that, because I left the house specifically, my appointment with them was at like 3 o'clock in the afternoon. I left the house at like 10 o'clock in the morning. It sounds a bit silly. Well, no, I got up at like, I don't think I left at 10, it was a bit later than that, I think, but I think it was around about 11, 12 o'clock-ish. No, 12 o'clock I left, I think. But I have to think about my physical disabilities, my mobility, and the buses, the fact that they run late quite a bit. And I had to go find the place. And I had my partner with me helping me with all that. I also have chronic fatigue issues, and sometimes I just randomly start to shut down or fall asleep, you know, in the middle of nowhere whilst I'm walking along the road. So if I started getting that issue, I could sit down for a few minutes and rest and get a bit of energy back without being late for the appointment, you know. So that's how I was able to make it there early, on time, you know, early, because I had left the house at like 12 o'clock-ish when my appointment was at 3, and managed to make it to town, find the place. Once I had found the place, I was like, right, I'm still like really early. There was a bar like a few doors down, so I was like, let's go sit in there and have a drink and a bite to eat. You know, no alcohol, just Coke because I didn't want to turn up there a bit drunk, you know, although that probably would have helped because it seems alcoholics get the money. So, but yeah, anyway, it says here, I have decided you can plan and follow the route of a journey unaided. Yeah, you just said that in the last sentence, but in a different way. What? Managing this activity. Unaided, managing this activity. Not unaided. I travel with my partner all the time. I don't leave the house without my partner. I told them this in the meeting, and again, they've completely ignored it. And it goes on to say, I have decided you can plan and follow the route of a journey unaided. You, what? Hang on, have I gone wrong here? Oh no, I've just read the same line again, but still, that's two sentences now that have said the same thing, but in a slightly different way. And I've just accidentally read the last line once more again. See, I'm confused. You told... Oh, hang on, where am I? You said you have difficulty moving around. Yes, I do. Is that all you got to say on that matter? Full stop. You told the assessor you can walk for 15 minutes to the local shop. No, I didn't. I said the local shop was less than 5 minutes away, and I struggled to walk from my house to the local shop, and I have to stop a couple of times along the way to rest and catch my breath. And I'm a very slow walker. I said to him the walk takes about less than 5 minutes, 4 or 5 minutes to the shop. And I see what he's saying here. It's the way he's worded it, because I said to him a 5-minute walk would usually take me like 3 times as long. A normal person would be able to walk it in 5 minutes. It would take me something like 15-20 minutes. I see what he's saying there, but it's the way he's worded it again. That makes it seem like I can walk for 15 minutes with no trouble. That's what that makes it seem like, which I can't. He's worded it completely wrong there. So, oh, it says here, to the local shop, stopping every 100 metres. Yeah, he's worded that completely wrong. I didn't say every 100 metres, They've twisted what I have said. And it goes on to say here, I have decided you can stand and then move more than 50 metres, but no more than 200. Oh, so he agrees I have trouble moving around and walking. Okay. But the way he's worded it is a bit... and it goes on to say, this is consistent with your medical history. Okay, so he's looked at my medical history and he's gone, okay, she's telling the truth there. And it goes on to say, your description of a typical day, informal observations at your face-to-face consultation, how you engaged with the assessor, the information you provided about how your disability affects you, and your musculoskeletal examination results, I cannot consider any help you need not covered by the activities of daily living and mobility, including weather conditions. How this discussion will change your other disability benefits. Now I have made a decision about your PIP claim. This means your disability living allowance will end. So again, that's a bit confusing, but yeah, so basically they've gone more on my mental health and my learning difficulties, and because I haven't got the correct diagnosis for them, because I can't get a support worker, I can't get the help I need from the professionals that are supposed to help me with it, because they say I'm not entitled because I don't get high rate disability money, and also because my GP agrees with me that I have learning difficulties. He agrees that I have an autistic spectrum disorder, but he doesn't think it's worth getting me diagnosed because I'm an adult. And I say, yes, it is worth me getting diagnosed, because then I can get the help and the support that I need. And I won't get messed around like this. You know, and I've been... It's just really annoying, because now I've got to go through all this appeal crap. I've been going through this PIP crap for months, filling out forms, trying to get medical records, trying to get things that I needed, and kept getting, you know, getting assessments, trying to get assessments for wheelchairs, for my learning difficulties, for my eyesight issues, and keep getting told, oh wow, if you have high rate disability, you can get this. It'd be easier for you to get this. Okay, but I need to get this to help prove to the disability people that I need the disability money. Oh, well, then go to your GP. My GP is useless. I can't go to him for anything. He is useless. You know, so I'm stuck. It's like I've fallen in a big hole and I'm stuck, you know, and I don't know what to do now. Obviously, appeal, I'm not quite sure how to go about the appeal, but the advocacy service I've been using for the PIP hopefully will be able to help me with that. But yeah, I'm just like, I don't know what, just because now I'm going to go months and months with little to no money, because this is going to affect all my other benefits as well. So now I'm going to be really struggling, and this is going to be really stressful on me. It already is really stressful on me. I can actually feel my heart rate and my blood pressure going up because of the stress of this letter, this piece of good for nothing but toilet paper. You know, I'm just like really stressed about it, and I've been told by my doctors I'm not allowed to get stressed. I've got to keep my blood pressure low, and that is almost impossible to do with crappy letters like this.
I'm just going to put my 2 cents in real quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
I promise I won't lose my temper, because I'm already... I'm at this point right now where if I find the person who made that decision, I'm going to put him into a position where he is disabled, and then I'm going to make sure that I have his job, and I will do the same to him as he's done to my partner. Now, I'm very protective of my friends and family, and the way things look, if we don't get the appeal, if the appeal doesn't come through, because a lot of people that get this get the straight off, oh yeah, you've come in, you've wasted your time, fuck off, you're not disabled enough. So then you appeal it, and then they go, oh, so you do want it, rubber stamp, off you go, there's your money. If the appeal doesn't work, we're going to have to get rid of our cats, we're going to have to move out of the flat we live in and move in with my parents. And they cannot even support me, let alone Suki. Then we're going to have to go through this whole process with where they live. So these motherfuckers in their office with their little rubber stamps and their perfect little bodies, with their perfect little picket white fucking houses, they're going to need to learn one thing. When they're old and grey, pissing through a tube, and somebody sticks them in a retirement home where the nurses beat them half to shit, Remember, that nurse's relative was disabled and you said no.
Well,
I don't condone violence towards elderly people, just so you know, and I don't think nurses have the right to attack their patients at all. I don't condone any of that. My point is, karma does come around, and I'm very upset at this. Because Suki has had to fucking learn to be able because of the amount of bullshit we get put through by doctors, GPs and stuff. If she had walked in there saying, oh, I've got cancer and I'm in remission, they would have given her a gold-plated fucking mansion.
No,
because
my condition
it's
is
just horrible how they treat people.
My condition is
Cancer's a horrible thing. I apologise.
My condition is degenerative, so that means it's going to slowly get worse as I get older, and it already has started getting worse. I have less mobility now than I had like 3-4 years ago. And as I said, I'm in constant pain. Yes, my pain levels today is quite a good day. You know, pain levels, let's say 1 to 10, 1 being very good, no pain at all, and 10 being the most excruciating pain in the world. Today I'm probably a 6. Never goes lower than a 6 though, my pain levels. So today for me it's good. A 6 is good. I've got pain, but it's not, you know, the worst. But I get more 10 days than I get 6 days, if you know what I mean. So I have days where I'm in constant agony and I'm eating pain medication like it's candy, you know, and that's how I get through my day. And on the worst days, the 10 days, I don't go out, I don't do anything. I sit in my chair, my comfy chair with my feet up, and I take hot salt baths to help, like muscle soak salts and things to help relax me. And as I said, I take painkillers like they're candy. You know, so, and then I just sit there in agony all day and wait for the pain to go away, because sometimes the pain medication don't work. And in that case, there's nothing I can do about the pain, so I just have to grin and bear it. And again, as I said as well about my fatigue, that I struggle with a lot, because at the moment I feel really tired. I have been for the past week, and that's partly due to my fatigue and the fact that at the moment I have issues with my neighbours being constantly noisy at night and waking me up. I also suffer with insomnia, and I've had an insomnia flare-up the past week or 2, and I've been really struggling to get to sleep, and when I've managed to get to sleep, the neighbours have woke me up. And then of course, then not being able to sleep, that doesn't help the fatigue situation. So then during the day I'm just like really, really tired. I mean, I'm basically at the moment in my pyjamas, as I do when I'm in my worst states. I do nothing but sit around in my pyjamas, because getting dressed takes a lot of effort, takes a lot of energy. And if I'm not going out, you know, getting dressed is pointless. Wasting energy on getting dressed if I'm not going out and if I'm not having company over is pointless. Why should I waste energy getting dressed if I'm just going to sit around in my chair all day watching TV? You know, so I have to budget my energy, kind of. And my mobility, because of those issues, have got a lot worse as well. I'm having trouble with my hips, with my back, with my neck. You know, I'm still going through hospital treatments and waiting for results and waiting on more appointments and stuff like that. So they haven't figured out exactly what is causing the fatigue, because Marfan, yes, my Marfan syndrome causes a bit of fatigue, a bit of joint pain. Yeah, it does, yeah, I agree with that. But this is beyond that level. This is like again, I'll go with the scale of 1 to 10. With Marfan, the fatigue and pain you get with Marfan syndrome, I've had all my life, so I know what that's like. And on a scale of 1 to 10, I'd say that's probably a 3 or a 4. Well, it was for me anyway. But this pain, again, is a 10. So it goes beyond the Marfan issues. So I don't think it is Marfan syndrome causing it. And I've been having a lot of other symptoms along with it. You know, so, and I think it's fibromyalgia. And I've argued with the doctors about it and said, you know, test me for fibromyalgia, I bet you it's that. Because people with Marfan syndrome are prone to getting fibromyalgia. But again, because they're doctors and they think they know better than me, which, yeah, okay, they've got training, they probably do. But I'm the one living with the condition. I'm the one that's had medical issues since I was like a baby. You know, I know how I feel. I know my symptoms. You know, so it's just like I'm really struggling with it all because every time I'm hitting brick walls. And it seems that these issues with the chronic pain and chronic fatigue are slowly getting worse, and the stress alone of crap like the PIP is bringing out more my mental, the mental fatigue, and stuff like that. Now, on the day I went to the PIP assessment, I got to say, okay, that was one of my best days. That was a better day. That was a 6th day. Like today is a 6th day. So I was trying to talk to them about what it was like for my worst day. On my worst days, on the 10 days and stuff. And, you know, it's really difficult. I just don't know what to do now. I'm just like, part of me just wants to say, you know what, screw it. Why should I bother going through this appeal? Why should I bother trying to prove that I am disabled? I know I'm disabled. You know, I struggle every frickin' day with it. But they don't seem to care about that. You know? I know they've got to treat everybody the same. They've got to, you know, they generalise it. They've got to generalise it. But I don't think they should generalise it. I think they should deal with it case by case. You know? Because generalising it doesn't help the people that are actually suffering. And, you know, it's just like, it's like all the wind's gone out of my sails. And no motivation now, and it's just like, oh, why should I bother? But if I don't bother, I lose everything. So
and this is why I think we should go around to people's houses. I mean, all the disabled people, okay, that are just about able, even if you've got like a motorised wheelchair, you should go to people's houses and ask them if they're disabled. If they say no, hurt them until they are. And if they say yes and they can't prove it, hurt them till they are. And if you answer a door and there's somebody that is disabled, say, join the cause, come along. Let's cripple this goddamn country. Let's make every motherfucker that can hop, skip and jump regret they've ever got fucking legs. Because the way it seems, if you're not sat in a wheelchair going, you're not entitled to fuck all.
yeah, they don't understand about
and that's not fair, because there are many people out there who are disabled. Like, perfect example of this.
They don't understand about invisible disability.
Put it all over me, right? Perfect example of this. I wonder how much disabled money the athletes are getting at the moment in the Paralympics.
For the Paralympics. Yeah.
How much are they getting to live on?
There's
Because they earn tons of money on promotions.
There was actually a story I saw. I didn't read it all, but there was a story I saw on Facebook about one of the Paralympic athletes.
Yeah.
And their claim for PIP.
Yeah.
I bet you they got a high rate PIP. They're able to run, skip, hop, jump. Yes, they are disabled. I'm not saying they're not. I'm not saying they don't struggle. But if they're able to run, hop, skip and jump, and they gain loads of money out of the Paralympics, but they still get PIP. How is that fair? You know, when someone like me, or worse off, people worse off than me, cannot work to earn money because they are too sick and too disabled, and working endangers their life and their health. So how are they meant, how is that fair on them? They can't go hop, skip and jump, you know, earn gold medals and get paid loads of money for doing it and get PIP. That's just unfair, you know.
My point though isn't that they don't deserve PIP, because they only get to do the Olympics once a year, and the ones that don't win don't get anything.
Yeah.
My point is like, it's another thing I've said. This is going to sound really harsh and vain and nasty of me, but a while back there was a kid with cerebral palsy who did the marathon. Right? He started first, finished last. Fair enough. He did it. He accomplished something. By the way the system is, him and everybody other cerebral palsy person ever doesn't deserve it, because that one kid with all that iron will and heart, and kudos on him, did that and lived his dream.
I see. I understand what you're saying.
The system
if they can,
is,
you know,
bending you over a barrel. You know,
if they can run a marathon, then surely they can work. That's the system
sees it.
That's what DWP. That's how they see it. If they can run a marathon, they can work.
Actually, from what we gather, if you can say, "Hello, I'm disabled," you can work.
Yeah, but it's just.
Obviously,
no offence. Obviously, we mean no offence to any disabled people. I understand how much of a struggle it is, and I understand there are disabled people out there.
It's more of the system
that struggle
that we're angry.
To be independent, and all they want is their independence and acceptance and stuff. And basically, that's what I want as well. But
you could always argue,
if I can't work because of my illnesses and my disabilities, and my partner can't work because he's caring for me 24/7,
I'm going to have to go out and get a job now.
How are we meant to survive?
Which is fine, I can do that.
You know, how are we meant to survive if neither of us can work because of my disabilities?
Yeah.
You know? So, and also having high rate disability in this country, basically, if you get the high rate disability, that is on paper proving that you are disabled. And now because you've got that proof on paper that you are disabled, when you take it to like the support workers or the disability support team that help you get wheelchairs and help you get adaptations for your home, when you take it to them, they say, yeah, we can help you because that is proof that you're disabled. But now I've been taken off of that, I've been turned down, I don't have proof to say that I'm disabled. So now I can't get the help that I need. And because I can't get the help that I need, I can't get the PIP.
And also,
it's just like a catch-22. It's like a horrible circle, you know, I'm going round in, and it's just like...
not to mention the fact that with Disability Living Allowance, which is now gone, we had income support allowance based on Disability Living Allowance, which we're now going to lose.
Yeah, that was yesterday, yeah.
Right, because we're losing that, we now no longer get council tax, we no longer get housing benefit, which now means I need to earn 500 quid a week after tax just so we can live.
You need to earn more than 500 quid.
That's without food, water or anything. That's just sitting in a dark room.
But they have.
I'd rather be out there in a tent begging for money,
John,
than go through this crap.
They haven't said anything yet about us losing it. They said it can affect.
It will affect.
Listen, they said it can affect my other benefits, disability benefits, but it hasn't said that they're going to take it away or stop it or anything. So I'm not going to think about that yet, really.
But you have to, because at the end of the day, if we ignore it like we thought this was going to come through and come out, we're going to be in a ditch.
Can I finish speaking?
Yeah, I'm just saying that.
I just said I'm not going to think about that at the moment. I'm just focusing on trying to get this appeal sorted out.
Now, if the appeal goes through, then we won't have to worry about it at all. So I know where you're coming from.
Yeah, I want to get the appeal sorted out and see where that goes, and then worry about the rest
Oh,
of
yeah.
it.
But I'm just saying we have to get that appeal sorted. But whilst the appeal is going on, because, you know, they said, was it 6 to 8 weeks for that to come through, and then 2 months later we receive a letter saying that they've got their staff. And then we had to wait another 2 months. And like I said, it would come either by the end of this week or the end of next week. And they're
Yeah.
saying we haven't got it. So we do the appeal. The appeal might take another 2 months. So for 2 months we've got no money. And if that affects our other benefits, within that 2 months we're going to receive letters about it. And when we receive letters about it, that's going to be
Yeah.
more stress on you. And then that
But
means we're not going to be able to do this. So once we get the appeal, we're going to be in debt. So the money that we get from the appeal, we're going to always be in debt because of this. Unless we get a massive back payment, which allows us to clear the debts that have surmounted because of this.
you see what I mean? It just, like, the amount of crap that this letter has caused,
I'm thinking about getting
and
a
the
suntan
amount,
and changing my name to a
the
Polish name.
amount of stress it's caused and whatnot, because this PIP now could mess up my other benefit money.
Your entire life.
It could mess up, you know, my entire life. As I said, if worse comes to worse, I could lose the place where I'm living because I won't be able to afford to pay the rent. You know, then what am I going to do? I'm going to be on the streets, and no one will hire me because of my disabilities. You know, I've tried to work before. I tried to get jobs before. You know, when I left school, I tried to get jobs, but every time I went for an interview, they said, "Oh, sorry, we can't employ you because you're too disabled and we don't have the means or the insurance to employ people with your disabilities." And that's what I kept getting every time I went to get a job. I managed to get one kind of job. It was like work experience in a supermarket stacking shelves. And if the job went well, I may have been given a full-time job there. So I gave it my best shot. I was going in, I was stacking the shelves, but I got quite ill by doing it, you know, and I didn't feel well at all. And the doctor and job centre said to me, right, okay, this is like interfering with your health. You're going to have to give up this work experience and we're going to put you on incapacity benefit, which is like a sick pay for people who are too sick or too disabled to work. So I've been on that money since just after I left college, really. So, you know, it's like I don't have any qualifications, not current up-to-date ones. I have a few old GCSEs which are irrelevant now because it's all A-level and O-level and all that type of stuff now, innit? And I've been told by job centre and stuff that my GCSEs and that are irrelevant. And the course I took at college in computers, I got quite high. I got really good qualifications from that. Within like a couple of months, though, them qualifications were irrelevant because they had brought out this ECDL computer licensing, which now you have to go take this computer. It's like a driving license for computers. That's the way I see it. It's really stupid, and they update it every couple of months. So by the time you finish their course to get this computer driving license, they've changed the criteria for it and they've updated it. So you have to go take it again. And by the time you get it, they've changed it again. You have to go take it again. And it's like, well, why? You know, why change it? Obviously, yeah, they're changing it because technology is changing so fast. But it's like, once you've done your qualification and you've got it and you go to try and get a job, the job says, sorry, that's irrelevant. They've just brought out a new one. You've got to go and do that before we give you a job. So I have no qualifications so I wouldn't be able to get a job anyway. And this is the struggle a lot of people like me have. You know, a lot of people on Marfan syndrome, I've been reading on my groups, on the Marfan syndrome Facebook pages, people that have gone for PIP and disability money and have been turned down and have struggled to get it because they don't understand our condition, you know. But and I don't know why they gave me an occupational therapist. They should have given me a physical therapist to do the assessment. You know, a physiotherapist, not an occupational therapist, or even brought in a specialist that specialises in Marfan syndrome to do the assessment. You know, that would have been better, because then they would have understood how it affects me, rather than have this person who doesn't know Marfan syndrome, doesn't understand what it is, what it does, you know. And it would be the same for every other disability, like people with cerebral palsy. Bring in a person who specialises in cerebral palsy to do their assessment. People who suffer from Down syndrome, bring in someone who specialises in Down syndrome for their assessment, you know. That's how they should do it. They shouldn't just lump you with some random person who don't know your condition, you know, because then this happens. One good thing, at least I've got some toilet paper for today. I suppose that's an up. But yeah, this video is, I've ranted on for like over an hour now in this video. I do apologise for that. I'm very stressed, and when I get stressed I get in a ranty mood, and obviously because of my video logs I thought I'd put it in a video log. But yeah, thanks for watching this long rant about the crappy PIP people. Yeah, so I think I'm gonna go and try and relax, I think. And try and stop John, my partner, from going down to the job centre and kicking off. Nah, he won't do that. He said he wants to, but he won't. It'll be fine. But yeah, anyway, I'm gonna leave you all there. Thanks for watching this video. If any of you who have gone through PIP wanna comment below this video with your story, with any advice, if you've been through the appeal, I'll be appreciative of any advice. You know, post anything you know about the PIP, about disability money, people, you know. I'm happy to conversate about it, and thanks for watching this hour-long video. And so I'm off now. Bye bye.